check the email, see if I've got something from Lyda Cook Roof, didn't. They just posted on there with Mitchell County Sheriff Department looking for 2 deputies, start salary around $36,000 a year. That's something most of our surrounding counties around here pay the deputies more than our sheriff.
Yeah, that's true.
And then when you consider that our sheriff is the highest paid elected official of the county, it kind of doesn't speak much to our pay scale.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair. Okay. You want to come in? No, I tried. I'm still here. They've only been charging $4,000.
Now, let's reach out. No, you sit here, right?
Okay, well, where's this page 1 right here go?
Under where it says recap, all of this part,
I got it.
yeah, we
This
got
right
stuff in
here.
it, but
I don't have a, tell me what that's supposed to be, that'll be.
right there.
Is this a whole new deal here?
Yes, and that is,
We throw all this other away?
well, you or keep it, or whatever you want to do with it.
Why don't you take off our notebooks and have some lines for us?
Here, hang here, and I'll fix it for you.
And then you can sell examples and that stuff.
Wow, you throw some cloud around here.
I mean,
Page 1 through what goes on the recap?
Oh,
1 through 6.
I don't think so. They may mop the floor with you in a
shut me
minute.
up for
Where did you put part of your sheet?
right there at the front.
He started at the,
Oh, you started over here.
alright, road and bridge, we can do away with this.
Yeah, hindsight's 20/20. These little books wasn't really the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah, good.
No.
Going. That Amy is doing a great
There
job.
you go. Good job. You did it right on cue, Gary. Good job.
Especially when she's fixing my notebook for me.
Yeah. Kind of helped nail me around
There
here.
you go. No, you just shot it down right there. You nearly.
Oh, back in that color deal.
Go to road and bridge.
Go under your blue tab for road and bridge.
Alright. And then lateral
Do
road.
you want me to pull this old stuff off or just leave it right there?
There.
You're gonna-
General revenue
Where'd y'all say 5, 6, 7?
goes under recap.
1 through 6 go under recap.
1 through 6, going to the recap. I don't have page 1.
Just a minute, you have it.
Did you find it? Or do I need to make
Never
it?
mind, I got it. I had disarranged myself. Alright, we're 7. Road and bridge.
It goes under your blue road and bridge tab.
Blue road and bridge tab. Road and bridge expenditures, lateral road. Alright, so 7 through 10 go through there, go there, right?
Yeah, and then 11 goes, the one that says lateral road just goes under the lateral road tab.
Well, that's page 10.
Okay, that needs to go under that lateral road tab.
Okay.
This one you brought me in, that's the whole thing, right? Or
Yeah.
Oh, you get a whole one, right?
got
No, y'all all got those ones.
just in the book?
General revenue goes,
I got mine.
yellow general revenue. How many pages of that is there? Just one,
No, there should be 2.
2? Because that page 13 is, general
Salaries.
funds and salaries.
And salaries go to page 15.
first 4 pages there.
Under recap, it should be the first 6 pages for under recaps. There you go, sir.
Thank you, and you did a great job
Thank
here, also.
Yeah.
Don't compare that to
Oh,
You might want to
they'd
print
say it
my
in,
notebook.
they'd say it anyway.
Yeah.
Should
Got
be
white
right,
now.
right there.
Off down here in the middle?
Well, we're gonna take all that stuff at the front now.
Okay, 16, page 16, which is general fund expenditures,
Goes under, all the way till you get to the grant.
the grant, huh?
There should be 2
We
pages
got a
at the end.
Triple hole punch somewhere?
I have one in my
Alright.
office.
Now, I've got pages here, are these old ones,
Yes, those are all.
Does Holly got one?
discards?
The one right back there?
No, it's.
Oh, damn.
What page is it?
Oh, no.
Road and
I had
bridge.
some more to it.
Road and bridge.
I'll take the old road and bridge out.
Jan, do I need to bring it down here, or all of them gonna need it?
Yeah, they're, okay.
Stonewall County Road and Bridge.
7 through 9 go under your road and bridge tab.
We'll punch yours, punch mine.
All right, Oliver, David, let me have yours too.
I didn't
Back
even think
sheet.
about pushing home.
What, 17 there?
Your white and blue page.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gary, you got a white and blue page? Right here. Get me controls in yours too.
That goes under your lateral road tab. Should be orange.
This thing's really starting to come really nice.
Now you should be to your,
Where's the picture? Look, those are the only ones I ever look at.
11 and 12 go under revenue. I should have made cartoons, I didn't know.
So we had to go from .45 to .48.
Got me the difference in
Yeah.
that.
Which is fine with me.
Which mine was kind of a guesstimate.
Yeah.
Normally we're figuring that out. I tried to make that as close as I could. I'll have that when we leave here today.
Will you now?
I don't think so.
You know, you should never let people know what your true intention is.
Y'all did hear that, didn't you?
Thank you much, man.
It's not on camera, she had it turned off, so.
Yeah, I wasn't listening, so I'm sure they didn't show up.
It goes under tax rate. In front of the recap.
You can either take it out or leave it in, it's just,
I'll leave it in there while we're confused.
And all these others, we're just gonna take them out and do away with them, correct?
right.
You gonna shred them, or you gonna recycle the paper?
I'll probably shred the paper, but, and y'all can either keep the tabs in front or take them out and I'll use it again. Next year,
Where's this page right here? We're gonna put this up.
which one? They put it under tax rate.
What are you taking up?
That's right.
It should have been right there at the front here,
It's in front of the 2012-2013 budget.
yeah.
Yellow says tax rate.
Kind of in the middle.
You're gonna put these there.
Yeah, you got it in the middle.
Tax rate, right. Thank you, thank you. How now, Brown Cal? Alright.
Alright, let's call the session back in order. What I'd like to do on this thing is skip down to the actual budget numbers, let's go over those, see if we need to change anything before we cover the first thing in page, because that gets to the rate and all that, but we need to make sure we're settled on the budget before we settle on the rate. So, we're going to go down on that, salary budget, that's page 8. This is where we talk about what it's gonna cost us to operate the county for the next fiscal year. Page 8, road and bridge salary budget. That's a recap of what all the salaries, covers all the county hands. Of course, if one of those hands, we're running short, one position is not filled, but we have to show in the budget, in case we need to fill that position sometime later. So it's figured into this thing. The bottom portion of that sheet talks about retirement, what that costs the county for the retirement on hands, on matching Social Security, matching Medicare, the supplement death benefit, and unemployment insurance rate, and workers' compensation. The total salaries expenditure with everything from last year, $261,784 for the proposed budget coming up to $281,763.20. Anybody have any questions about road and bridge salaries? I think we discussed all that in the past. Pretty straightforward. That's figuring the salary increase for this year. Anybody have any questions on that one? Now the next page, page 9, that's road and bridge expenditures. From last year's budget, we reduced repairs and parts from $70,000 to $60,000. But we've added a line item this year we didn't have in there last year. That's equipment rental and lease. Simply because we figured that it would be better to rent dozer equipment if we have to do some ripping out here in these material fields that we've got. And I think these already, the deal started on this year. We didn't have a line item for equipment rental and lease last year. Does that look about right if we end up having to lease a dozer and do some work out here to get road material?
He's gonna have to lease one too, put that bridge in.
Yeah, put the bridge in, so we're gonna have some rental lease equipment before the year's over.
I'm gonna say something to you, that creek's dry right there now.
It is.
Of course, I mean, it's gonna be muddy, but I'm sure he knows that creek's dry. If they don't spring a pearl on me, it's just barely keeping up water up in Fort Hippers.
Well, he's gonna have a crane or something out there to set that whisper in there, isn't he, if they welded together?
I think he was gonna do that with a trico.
He can lift it with a trico line.
I thought he did.
Yeah.
Well, but that, again, you'll have to lease that.
Yeah, he's good.
So anyway, we've added that line item in here so we have a place to utilize that equipment. Utility propane stayed the same, tools and supplies the same. We increased the chemicals a little bit, but that was just more of a rounding figure than anything. Fuel and oil remained the same. We've increased road materials by $10,000 simply because of all the road work we're having to do to repair the damage done by all the drilling and stuff that's taking place. Is that going to be sufficient? Kind of a guess, shot in the dark.
Well, if it stays dry, they won't even water the drill this, I guess so.
Yes, so, that's true.
I've been foundation, quit shutting them really down.
Till this water situation.
That was before water situation.
Who is it that's doing all that drilling over here, around over there?
I don't know who it is.
Yeah, they have made a ton of little wells over there. I don't know what those wells are producing. But
How many feet do they have to be apart?
660.
Well, that's how far they're measuring them.
Yeah.
And it's going bang, bang, bang.
And I guess they're making a well out of every hole they're punching over there, aren't they? I hope they keep it up. We've increased the appraisal district by $4,000 to offset some of the added expenses they're gonna have, and they very well may be coming back to us for an amended budget. So we may have to adjust that some. Right now, I just don't, until they come to some decision how they're gonna handle the problems they have down there, we don't know what they're gonna need from us. Bonds stay the same, schools, paving and right-of-way purchases, we've increased that by a substantial amount. I think the figure we got there is gonna cover some of that. And it will allow us some transfer room if we have to have it back up there on road material. I think that's a wise decision on that one. Liability insurance, same. Public officials, same. Capital outlay, we reduced that by $50,000 from $75,000 to $25,000. Right now, we're pretty good shape, I think, on equipment account. I don't know of anything that we're gonna need over the next year, but we left enough in there in case we have to replace a minor piece of equipment. Miscellaneous stays same. The bridge replacement, we kept the $94,000 that we have to have in there as our offset on the Stinking Creek bridges. And then we've had to add another $65,000, give or take a few dollars on that thing, offset on the Salt Creek bridge as the county's matching funds. So that had to increase substantially. Any questions on it? Anybody see anything they need? The only question on that one is the possibility of the appraisal district. That may have to change. Lateral road, really, that's the only thing on that is, and you took out the 46 cents off fuel oil. Rounded it to 0. General fund revenue, that we'll discuss when we get back over here to our estimates on it. Salaries and budget, again, that reflects the salary increases. Each office is listed. Everything else remained the same in each office with the exception of reflecting the
2 new positions.
Oh, yeah, and there's two new positions. Well, actually, it's making one part-time position a full-time position, and that's the JP secretary down there. And that position has paid for itself, so that's really not costing anything. The revenue is not going in the general fund, other than the fact that the place is making a salary. But that position has paid for itself. The other position is making one half-time position, and that's the county attorney's operate through the judge's office, the court coordinator. And she will primarily work for the county attorney, but be available at times of the year when the tax office is really busy or any of the other officers need seasonal type help. She's here to keep the county attorney's business primarily taken care of. And we've been getting a lot of the court-appointed attorneys and that sort of thing for everybody. It seems like everybody that comes through the system over there is needing a court-appointed attorney, and unfortunately, nearly every one of them qualify. And we have to have somebody that's taking care of it.
What is this potential third deputy gonna do to our budget?
See, that's what I told them. They need to decide what they're gonna do with this thing, because we're in the budget process. It shouldn't affect us, other than the fact it'll be a county employee, and it'll have to be a line item. It'll have to be created. And what they'll do, if they do it like they're talking, the city reimburse us, it'll show as a county employee.
But didn't they just make the motion to fund half of
That
deputy?
was, what I understand, that was the motion, and they're gonna have to revisit that, because right now, I don't see that happening this year. You got
Why
too
did
many
they
things.
go ahead and do that before they converted to it?
Good question, David. I mean, it was a complete and total surprise. I think you're the one that brought that up to my attention. You had watched the deal and you come in here and asked me about it, and it was a total surprise to me. I did not know that was on the agenda, that was gonna be done. I was kind of surprised that they had not, somebody come over here and met with.
Oh, they had met with them before that time.
Well, like I told you then, that the administrator and I had discussed that several months ago when he mentioned that he was thinking about, changing their night watchman situation. He'd like to have that as a certified police officer, peace officer. And asked me about making, a deputy. Because he thought that what they're spending now on it would just about pay for a deputy. And that's when I told him, I said, well, if y'all want to fund it, I don't think we'd have a problem, except the fact you would need to talk to the sheriff, because he's the one that we need to go for. If the sheriff was good to go with it, I didn't think we'd have a problem. That was the only discussion we had had. And then you walked in my office that day and said, what's this about the passing that about a deputy? I had no idea it was on the agenda, didn't know they were even discussing it. Because that was the one and only conversation that I had had with that. And that was several months ago. But in order to do that, we'll have to make a line item in our budget for it. So they've got 2 weeks to decide and get it back to us to whatever we adopt today is a proposed budget. We'll have to adopt a proposed budget today. Stay on our time frame from July the 5th when we got the certified values from the appraisal district. And we got a time frame, and it's in the sheet right here. I'll be happy to show it all of you. But today, this comes from the comptroller's office, and of course we pencil in the dates, but it has to fit to get our budget adopted. And August the 13th is meeting of the governing body to discuss tax rate. If proposed tax rate will exceed the rollback rate or the effective tax rate, whichever lower tax, take a record vote and schedule public hearings. We have to get into that. If we adopt the budget, we have to adopt the budget. We have to post that adopted budget at the clerk's office. It has to be posted for a minimum of 2 weeks. And we have to advertise for 2 public hearings. And all that's got to happen today, and then we get the notice into the paper today, so it'll be out next week.
Now, to give us one of the figures up, we have to put another.
Yeah,
line.
we would have to amend that proposed budget in 2 weeks' time if they figured out what they want to do. I don't expect that to get done this year. At least don't. I don't think they've got time.
Well, probably more so than we table the situation.
Yeah. But anyway, other than those 2 positions, making the JP secretary from a half-time position to a full-time position. And we've had, since the first year, we've had a half-time position in here in the county attorney's office, and we funded that through what we had in there for secretarial service for them, plus the summer help program that we have budgeted for. But we're showing that now as a line item as the court coordinator, and that goes under the judge's office. So the court can keep control of that position. And that's the only 2 changes to our general salaries budget.
Well, you don't get the state supplement from
No.
us.
No, Pro Tem does not draw state supplements. It just draws the county's base salary. It's in the budget.
Yeah.
And if we have an attorney move into the county and they come in here and want that position, and they've established their residence inside Stonewall County, then by law, we have to appoint them to that position. and then they would qualify for the state supplement. So we have to have it in the budget, but pro tem attorney does not draw from the state supplement.
You hadn't heard more back from Colin, have you?
No, I haven't heard no word. I suspected that the insurance, because it was gonna be 2 years before he could maintain his insurance like it is now. If I understood that correctly. He was gonna have to stay there for 2 more years. And so I've not heard any more from him.
Did I understand correctly at that meeting that the city's insurance rates dropped nearly $200? I'm not hearing correctly.
Yeah, I heard him mention that, but I was standing in the back of the room and I didn't catch that whole statement, what he said about
It
it.
was 600 something, wasn't it?
Now it's four something. Yeah. Not quite $200, but
Yes.
150. Well, that's good.
I don't know.
I guess that-
What did they change? Did they change their policy some?
No,
or
it's
their
the same
deductible,
policy,
or-
actually, it's got more life insurance on it, it's the same policy, but something about that the risk was less, that the employee's health wasn't such. It was enough that they didn't pay out as much in claims, I guess.
Well, the city's got a little different situation than the county would have if we try to do that. Their average age of their employee is about 25 years under the county. And it dropped, what'd you say, 400 and something, is that what you said?
They were from 600 and something.
Now, I heard him mention that, but what was going on back there in the back of the room, I didn't hear the full story, I didn't know what he said. Okay, any questions on our salaries budget for the general? Now, we did change, one other thing I didn't mention, that was county agent. We moved the travel back up to where it was. See, we dropped that when Jason left.
Yeah.
And now we have Cody in there, we moved the travel allowance back up. I forgot to mention that, but we did. That's another adjustment on general fund salaries.
And because the district judge sent the letter, I actually lowered the court reporter's salary down to what he was saying it would be. I got it at 66, and when it come back.
Yeah, I brought that letter up, read you all before from the district judge.
We'll have 6,100, but, yeah, that's what we signed today, 6,100.
Any other questions on that? Yeah, talk about the veteran service officer that earlier today. His salary is $1,697 and the travel allowance is $834 for a total budget of $2,531. That's pretty cheap to have that guy over here servicing the needs of our veterans. Like I say, most of it's our elderly, but he tends to problems. Anything they need, he'll take care of it for them. He's that guys. And the thing of it is, he'll come over here if they call him, even when he's not scheduled to be, he'll make a trip over here and deal with whatever it is they need done. So that guy does a good job. The workers' comp and all that, we got an increase on that. What was the?
Because of the fire department.
Yeah, we added the fire department to it.
Right.
Which is, I mean, that didn't add an awful lot to it, but we had our firemen and they weren't covered under workers' comp. So we added that to it this time.
And we have another deputy, I figured the deputy's wrong last time, and figured it a little, I know I was wrong.
Yeah.
Is this a code
She-
improvement?
And she hadn't even thrown me under the bus over that one yet.
Yeah.
Well, I really hadn't figured out
Hadn't figured out how to do it?
How to, yeah, I'm working on it, yeah.
But anyway, on the workman's comp, we did get an increase on it from last year's, or this budget we're operating on now to next year. And that's why. General fund, the office budgets, notice on county attorney, we don't have any dues or conferences on that, that's all zeroed out. Judge on dues and bonds, when we went to 250 on it up to 500, we had some increases on stuff. Judge's office. Tax assessor, collector, and their conferences, we doubled that from 1,500 to 3,000, because we're gonna have to start, having our deputy go to some schools, so I guess Lacey will be attending some schools, so we had to add some of the conferences on the, county clerk, same thing, went from 1,500 to 2,000, simply to accommodate some added schooling that's gonna have to take. Just the fees from 1,700 to 3,000 on here, same reason. Just that reflects what it's costing us for the official to attend the mandatory school.
Now, on the JPs, it also includes a couple of schools just taking
Yeah,
care.
yeah. Tiffany's gonna attend some, and that's gonna be schools that will pay for themselves, just bring her up to date. I mean, they've instituted some programs down there on their collections that's bringing in the revenue, that's getting the collections in here that in the past is just kind of lagged behind. And with everything going to digital format down there, she needs to go to a couple of schools. The county agent, we've got a few changes in it on gas and oil, we've increased that, just to reflect the added cost. We've added capital outlay on that, we're gonna have to look at trading that pickup got, I don't know, it's well over 100,000 miles on it. We first had 27,000 in it for that trade. We got talking about it, thinking about the trade-in value. We thought that might run us a little shy, so we upped that from 27,000 to 30,000 on that capital outlay. I don't know if it'll take out. It's just hard to say what we'll get trade-in on that on his old pickup. You know, they're not worth much when you trade one in, but somebody go try to buy it off the yard once it's traded in. That's a really valuable pickup. You know how that goes. So I think 30,000 on that will cover us and probably allow a little some left over. I don't think it'll take that, but I think we better have it in there just in case. Does that sound reasonable? And we did the same thing on the sheriff's pickup. On their old one, it's time to roll that over. So we missed this last year. We didn't have to roll anything over simply because we got the grant funds and bought 2 new vehicles this year. Didn't cost the county anything. We got that new pickup and the new Tahoe. But the old pickup, it's time to think about trading it. So, but we'll cover that in a minute. But we just figured that those 2 pickups, we had 27. We thought we'd better bump that to 30, so we'll cover it. County library, because of the loss in grant funds and state funds to the library over there, we increased the book purchases from 1,500 to 3,000. Sheriff's Department, we had to increase the teletype contract was 2340 last year, what we had budgeted, and we went over that, cost us over that, so the 5,000 that we budgeted in that really reflects what the actual cost are. Gas, oil, tires, and car repairs, a significant jump on that from 18 this year to 45,000 next year. One of the reasons is we've got the second deputy, we're operating the other cars, and it reflects the expenses. No.
I was just saying, I underguessed that one.
Yeah, that's another one of those, we
That's two strikes.
understand last year was mine and Andy's first go around on this rodeo, so we did miss a couple of things last year, but we've learned a little. And so we're getting to apply some real world experience this year that neither one of us had last year at budget time. So, and we tried to take notes and learn from our past mistakes, so that was one of them. And plus the fact that we added that second deputy, which boosted our expenses up some too. Capital outlay, when we first figured this thing, or last year, we didn't have anything to purchase, and we first figured, like I said, back to the pickup, and we changed that from the last sheet y'all had, from the 27,000 to 30,000 for the new pickup. Any questions on that one, anywhere? Courthouse expenditures, that basically remains the same as last year. There's a couple of items we increased by $500 in supplies and repairs, and then down here on other office supplies. That added about $1,000 total for the courthouse.
Sheriff's talking in there about a fire, I think.
Huh?
Sheriff's talking about a fire, right?
Oh, I didn't hear that. Yeah, I was talking. Did they pay something out?
Right now,
Right now.
so we're saying, this is in place.
Check. God, I hope he wasn't welding.
Let me see if I can get the crew together, y'all give me just a second. See if I can get hold of Cole real quick.
Yeah, it's in, the fire's in Haskell County, but it's moving into Stonewall County now. It's 241 out there, the road that makes the loop out of Haskell and goes back into Haskell. Right
You're
there.
right, that way they're close.
Yeah.
That's our first brand. He should be home. You got his number?
Who's
Brand. Since they had that fire where they left in the truck at Gary's house, I made the Brand's going to push it up. Being started. I think that's one that had to jump off and
I think so. They got got a set of batteries. One of them may die, and that may have been Jim Butler, one of Jim Butler's ones. They've got one set of batteries. We've been having lots of battery problems.
It's too hot.
See, I went down there and get another blazer, and the battery's dead on it, but I think somebody left the radio. Because I went down there Saturday and tried to boost it off, never could get it to turn over fast enough to start. So I went to the house and got my charger and brought down and hooked the charger to it. Shoot, it kicked flat off. I'm thinking, yeah, that's, you know, the battery is charged. We picked that back up, it's out. After you and Gary got making some adjustments.
That car wrecked yesterday and caught on fire. It didn't catch anything else.
You might get one, I don't. Yeah. 141.
So we gotta go there and rule, go north, what I say. Okay. I took it up the phone, man. I'm gonna go jump in the truck. I've never been back in there Tuesday.
So it's at Judd?
Yeah, 241.
It's fast if they go plumb to Rochester, really.
Hey, Brent.
Time to make it twist and run.
Hey, man, they just paved that, got a grass fire, northwest part of the county.
No, cause then you still got 9 miles of Rochester to go west. But you can turn off and go up by the old, rural, country club, where Herbert Williams lives now.
Leave out.
And then bypass your cutout, a whole bunch of that.
Dirt road kicks off, okay?
But you cut out all those curves.
Who lives there? Old Country Club?
Herbert Williams.
Herbert Williams. I thought he lived down on the road going toward, Sagerton.
Him and his wife lived there, they bought that. I don't know. Yeah.
When they closed the golf course down.
Yeah.
It's kinda odd, they're showing, and then of course they're showing Stonewall County on the map. And we're in, getting up to the high side and catching by them still. But they're showing just east of us is a whole lot drier. They're up in the red area. But for the next 14-day forecast, they're showing the east side of the county will remain about where it's at, the west side of the county to jump up, way up.
I know
But they're
it's,
still, but they're showing Kent County is down, the next level down below. I don't know,
Spotted rain,
has been,
Huh?
I think they.
spotted rain.
I guess so.
See, they had 1.5 inches of rain up there the last time we had a 1/2 inch, I think, in some areas up there. It's amazing, of course, listen, I won't go on a week, it's amazing how dry it got during that week.
Well, yeah. See, out there at my place, I got that 1.1 inches out there week before last. It didn't get any here. And man, my place greened up, of course, we just 2 weeks before that, we got that 2.5 inches. And got that, it come just right. The last weekend, had all the kids here, my place just green and pretty, and I'll guarantee you right now, just brown as a toast. And it's amazing how much it dried out this week.
It doesn't help when you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and it's already 80 degrees
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah. Yeah, we had, was it just last Saturday morning or something? I mean, in daylight, it was already 85 degrees or something. What day was it? Friday or Saturday?
Probably Friday.
85,
Could have a little
55.
cold front blow through.
Okay, thank you, Coach. Good, Mark. Cole or nothing back.
They got it under control or?
He said they hadn't phased him out.
Who?
Cole Turner at Rochester. He's clueless.
See,
Why
Bill's the
they
one
be
that found it.
phasing us out and not him?
'Cause
Well, I
Bill-
told Cole, I said, he said, well, I'll get it up, see if I can get some more, we'll go down and have a look.
Out doing it?
Know what you like, boss?
Did you get out, Brent?
Yeah, he wants to kick us off, he thinks downtown.
Okay, well, you need to go.
I'm sorry, let's press on here. No,
Okay.
I'll stick with you. I apologize, I got a fire truck, and I got a crew, gotta get them going here, folks.
On page 18, where you're gonna see the significant change, and it is a significant change, and that's the airport expenditure. Capital outlay, each year for the last few years, been running a $10,000 in the budget on that one, just to do the thing. But if you look on there, capital outlay on the airport, we budgeted $280,000. We're in a situation where we're gonna have to do something else. I'm still waiting for a report to come back from TxDOT Aviation's engineer. As we talked about earlier, David and I and Chris met him out there. See, a year ago when I got Chris to look at this thing, and he told us what we could do to fix it, and then told us what the state's been requiring folks, and there's not any way we could afford to do what the state's been requiring. But I think because of the budget crunch at the state, I think they're looking at what Chris, what he laid out, the way to fix that airport. So that engineer said that would put that airport up serviceable for the next 10 to 12 years to do it that way. The only problem with that is the grant funds available to us. We got $102,800, I believe, isn't that right, David? In the state's airport grant funds assigned to us.
We don't know anything about 212 funds.
Right.
If we could get them, possibly the same as I did.
Yeah. But who knows when that's going to,
Yeah.
we just. So
We should get that before the election, though, fellas.
Is that what it is?
I think we will. I think we can see the reconvene, they'll all be out trying to do their thing.
That would give us a start on starting 5
But
years.
given what we have in the grant fund and what it's gonna take to repair that, and keeping in mind, we built that airport in 1984, and we've not spent one dime on it since, I think, 28 years old. And it's just, literally coming apart. I mean, it's, I know I get 2 or 3, 4 phone calls a week from pilots around the country. And when they're fixing to haul their oil company executives or stuff into this airport, and they go to the NOTAMs, the Notice to Airmen, to check the conditions of the Stonewall County Airport, and they'll read on there where it says significant cracks with vegetation in it. And then when these guys are talking about bringing some of these expensive aircraft in here, they get a little worried, so they call me, what's the real story? And I tell them anything from a King Air down, probably wouldn't have any significant problems. Yeah, there's some sizable cracks with clumps of grass growing in it, but basically in the center of the runway down at a King Air would handle, it'd probably be fine. I wouldn't bring something like a Citation or a Gulfstream in here. I just wouldn't. Those things are too expensive airplanes, and they require the Class A service, and we just don't have it. And really, even a King Air, I'd have to really think twice about landing on them out here. But they can, good pilot can.
They take nearly the full runway land on them.
Well, yeah. See, we got 4,000 feet out here. And most of these little county airports like us are about 3,400 to 3,600. So we've actually got some extra runway that most of them don't have. We can accommodate up to the small business jets out here with that 4,000 feet when our runway is in good shape, which it's not now.
No, the only big clumps of grass kinda down on that south end that goes all the way across.
Yeah.
That's right in the middle of that state.
Yeah.
Pretty
And that's,
clear.
that's what I tell them, some of the small, I mean, I think they can get King area in there, and that's what I tell them.
You take a hole off there and clear that cloud vegetation that high.
But it's it's simply down to the point where we cannot ignore that airport anymore. You know, and we're just talking about just the runway fix right now. That's not talking about the taxiway and the apron parking area. They're gonna have something to do. But right now, we have got to get that the runway fixed, or we're in danger of that thing getting shut down. And it's too valuable an asset for the county to allow it to just be shut down. And that's where we're getting into, and it's my hope that if we can manage to get the funds together to go out there and repair that runway, put it back up in serviceable condition, is then establish some type of a 5-year maintenance program to keep that thing in shape, to not let it get where it's at today. We're nearly gonna have to do it. And the thing of it is, as the oil business around here expands like it is, if the wind farm business expands like it is, I think we're gonna see more and more youth out there all the time. But that's the significant change on this, is on that airport. That's the bad news. The good news is, we may be in a position, looks like we're gonna be in a position this year with our increased values, that we might can afford this year to actually do something about it. That's. Any questions on that, on page 18? Everything else is basically the same as it was last year. I mean, we've made no changes to speak of except that. Page 19. Again, other than just some little minor changes, it is basically the same as last year. A small increase in the district coordinator, that just reflects the actual cost from the district. Probation department, a little bit of adjustment there, again, reflects the actual cost. And court reporter expenses. Any questions on here? Page 20.
Hey, back to that page 19, what you just saw, at one time we were gonna do away with the law book deal? Is that with, or we gonna do away with the LexisNexis?
Well, we've still got the LexisNexis, and I'm still kind of vacillating. I mean, it's something we kind of need, but it's something we don't use. But it costs us $92 a month to have that LexisNexis. But it is available if we get an attorney in here, and we can provide that for them. Okay, so we're keeping that. The rest of that on that law books, the reason that's in there is that there are actual law books that we have to, new probate codes, penal codes, civil case codes and stuff that get updated. That I have to get one from time to time, and the attorney's office needs one, and those things will run us a couple $100 a piece. So we've left that line item in there to replace those books we have to replace each year. But those are more of each office's books rather than the law library. What those are. See, we cut that on that law library. That thing was costing us right at $4,000 a year for books that we never looked at. Page 20. The appraisal district again. We upped that by $4,000 to reflect what their budget was. But again, that may have to change. It's hard to say right now. We won't know until they have their meeting. It looks like we saved a bunch on those audit expenses. At $24,000 in the budget this year, reducing it to $13,000 next year. But that reflected two budgets in basically one for last year because of the one that they skipped the year before. So it's actually the same. It's just we did it, one year we didn't spend any, year before last didn't spend any on the audit, and last year we made up, this year we made up for it.
They were to start making that an annual deal,
Yeah.
a yearly deal.
Yeah. Yeah, I, you know, by law, we can go every other year on that one. But I just think that's a bad deal. I'd like to see that audit done every year simply because if we have a problem, I want to catch it sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
And it doesn't say, you know, and the thing of it is, it doesn't save us any money. You know. So annual, every year we're gonna be looking at you.
Actually, I prefer that way, you know, if something's wrong, you find it, and you fix it. Case they just calculator's broke.
He'll be up the rest of the evening.
Yeah, so I get home, plug it in.
Building and auto liability insurance, we've increased that by $4,000, that just reflects the increase in costs. Community center, we've increased the capital, just the operating needs for the community center, we've increased that some, but we're looking at doing some repairs and stuff over there too. And like I say, I'm waiting now to get some figures on that roof. And it kind of depends on when we get that in, so we'll have time to get that on this year's budget, or whether that's gonna have to go on next year's budget, so we're covering it both ways, just in case. Justice planning fees are up, that just reflects the cost up by $3,000. And copier lease, it reflects
still trying to get your way.
the second copier that we've had to rent down there in the clerk's office, but that thing's paying for itself on the copies we make.
You did that before they installed it.
What are you on average now?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. What's on that
Couple
report?
thousand copies a week?
No, not that much.
Not that many?
No.
But anyway, that thing's paying for itself just in the copies we have there.
It's up on the top, I think it's
Yeah.
all copies right on the first one, I think.
It's all copies, 1,400 received.
Yeah.
That was for the month.
Yeah. So that just about pays a yearly lease on that machine in 1 month.
Yeah, because it's $1,260 a year.
Yeah.
Judge, we went moving box.
Yeah, we're
But I
gonna.
don't think I'm gonna lose no weight between now and time they put in.
You know, I don't know why this became the communication storage room. It's just.
It always has been.
Yeah.
Store 9
Hopefully we'll get those things programmed though and get them put in down there in those fire trucks, get those old radios out.
What's gonna happen to all that old equipment?
Huh?
What happens to all the old equipment?
I don't know, right there, 4 of them,
The old radio,
the old radios.
obviously.
Well, I mean, I say old, there's one brand new one in there that we put in that Blazer, probably.
Are they gonna have to go back to
Oh,
college?
no, those belong to the fire department.
Well, I know, but that's what I'm saying, they just gonna chunk them or something?
Well, I think Jimmy was gonna try to sell them, see if anybody wanted to buy them or whatever.
That's what I'm
they want.
thinking, a ranch, big for it, something like that, you know, that woman.
The only thing is, it's got all of our frequencies, so they'd have to
Well.
take all that off. I mean, those things have got the COGS frequency program
He
down.
needs to trade them for some paper.
That's not a joke.
Yeah,
That's what we need.
yeah,
They afford it back when you pay.
yeah. See, there's 7 of these radios just going in down there, and most of those have got the old radios in them. You don't have to, you know, and if you find them, somebody buy those things, that'd be a good way to do it. Sell those and then buy some extra paper. Well, those pages about $4.50 a piece,
I
aren't they?
think so.
I mean, you wouldn't think them little things would be that high, but they damn sure are. They cost nearly as much as radio. Yeah, and they need about a half a dozen, or maybe a dozen more people. That'd be a good thing. Page 21. Pool equipment and then pool structures. We've increased those by a little. We're gonna do some, as we discussed earlier in the rec meeting, looking at doing some plumbing, but Ricky and I will do all of that ourselves, so that'll just be a matter of buying the material to do it. But, come next spring, we may not be worried about the pool, depending on the water situation. Hopefully it's gonna rain by then. But I would like next year, if everything works like it, I hope it does. That
You don't want to hear about next spring, nobody here to go swim.
That's true. The chain link fence on the north side, I'd like to replace it with that metal like we've got on the south side. But anyhow, that's all. That page basically remains the same. If you look there at the bottom of page 21, total general fund department's expenditure last year is just shy of 800,000. This year, and the significant part of that, like I said before, goes to the airport. We're looking at $1.2 million on general fund expenses. But a large chunk of that increase is going to the airport, and we've got two new pickups. That accounts for the biggest part of that increase. Any questions on the general fund expenditures? Anybody have any questions about any of it? Anything that they think we need to add to, take away from, that you noticed in there? Page 22 is just talking about our grant funding. If you look, all of that is significantly reduced, and basically that reflects that nearly all of the Homeland Security grants for all this upgraded communication equipment, that has now run its course. We've spent what funds we have. We've gotten all the equipment in. We haven't been reimbursed for all of it yet, but we've got the radios and everything. With the notice I got this morning, the last of those funds have been approved for reimbursement. When we're gonna get the reimbursement, like I said, it's a good question. The grant funding is significantly reduced.
Was that 21,000, what's left?
That's the 2011 grant funds that we have until 2013, sometime next year to get it spent, actually first next year. That was designated for the reprogramming and the narrowbanding that's got to take place this year. See, every piece of communication equipment that the county owns, whether it's in the county's possession, schools, cities, hospitals, whatever, we're responsible for getting it reprogrammed and get everything narrowbanded or digitized. But it's all, everything has to be, we have to do away with that wideband frequencies. Anything that's used after the 1st of January this coming year, if it's still operating under the wideband, the FCC can come in here, shut down all of our communication equipment, and they're threatening some significant fines on stuff. I don't know if that's going to come to pass or not, but we will have all of ours reprogrammed, and that's what that 21,000 actually is. it shouldn't take us anywhere near that. I'm hoping that, saving these funds, there's some items, I even asked about the pagers, if we could use the excess funds on that pagers, and they said no.
So that's a shame.
Huh?
So that's a shame.
Yeah. Yeah, it has to be, a two-way communication for these funds to pay for it, and the pagers are not. Yeah, it is a shame, because the pagers they're just as important, or if not more important, to the operation of the fire department than.
You gotta get them there, and you ain't anybody to talk to.
Yeah, exactly. But anyhow, those are 2011 grant funds. Okay, unless there's other questions, let's go up here and we'll attend to the business at hand on this. Go to page 3, basically where it. And the county is in the unfortunate situation we find ourselves in this year, that our county values had a significant increase. Not as much as what the preliminary report was showing. It was decreased after the appeals by some, but we still got a significant increase in our county values this year, and it's nearly all tied to mineral values. And what that's gonna do, it's gonna allow us, if we go with the tax levy that we have proposed, we'll be dropping the taxes from 54.8 that we're presently under this year to 48.15, 48 cents, 48.15 cents per $100 in value. And that's a decrease in the tax levy from this year to next year of 6.65 cents per $100. What that'll actually mean to most taxpayers in the county is that on an average house in Stonewall County, it's not a great deal, but it is a decrease. It's going to decrease their taxes. I went in there to find out from Jim exactly, he figured it, and if I remember correctly, it's $20 or $25 is what it'll actually decrease people's taxes on them. It's going to allow us to decrease property taxes in the county, but it's still going to allow us to increase some revenues to the county so we can pay for some of these things that we're going to have to fix, like the airport. We're going to have to do some more work on the courthouse. We've got to do some work on the communities. We have to replace 2 new vehicles, two older vehicles this year. So this is going to allow us some added revenue to do those things with, that we've not done in some cases for 30 years. But anyway, what it amounts to is this is the proposed tax rate this year that Anya and I and Jim have come up with is dropping from 54.8 cents to 48.15 cents per $100. That's what we're proposing. Which will bring in revenues to the county, $1,936,944.84 with 100% collection. Anybody have any questions on that?
That number right there, that 1,936,944,
Yeah.
that needs changed to 1,936,944. Sorry.
What needs change to what?
To 1,936,944.
944?
940.
Oh, for
.84.
No points.
That's actually what you had was, back page.
So what you had $1 too much on.
Yeah,
$1.84.
Already for too much.
Oh.
You had $1.84 too much money in 1.9 million. And, my goodness.
That's it, that's our quick.
What kind of a percentage is that, Gary? Can you figure that
I
right
ain't
quick?
gonna fool it. My little cat don't get that way.
Get pennies out of need a penny jars around town to pick that up.
Yeah.
That's like a .0000001.
Anyway, I think it's possibly more zeros than that. So what I scored.
So, we decreased that by $1.84.
yes.
I bet David Kenyon get that close, ain't
Well, I had it right on the other page, I just,
That's what messed me up, I done it with the back page.
The 84 knocked over that.
right. You'd be surprised how many times I've read this over and still missed that one.
Oh, yeah. So disappointed. I'm so proud of you, Walter.
Oh, man.
Roller coaster. Baggy emotions.
Does anybody have any questions about the budget? And you're sitting down there just ready for answers.
You sound ready for answers.
You notice how afraid they
In one part, on that general fund tax rate, you'll notice that is split between the general fund, and we gave 2 cents of that tax rate to Road and Bridge to help pay for some of the things we're doing over there with the roads.
increasing their funds. We discussed actually adding a little more to them, but just like we're all aware of, that once the money's into their fund, it doesn't come out of their fund. So we gave them, put enough in there, we felt like it should fund their operation over there. But if it runs a little short, we can always transfer funds from general into the road and bridge. But if we put more than they needed over there and we needed more back over here, you can't go the other way with it. Okay, what we got to do, if that needs to, if everybody approves it, I think this is the budget we want to go with. And if this is the tax rate that it'll take to fund that budget. Since we're gonna be, raising more revenue this year than we did last year, we'll have to take a record vote. In other words, we'll have to, by law, we have to be on record, each individual vote of the Commissioners Court. And so we'll have to get a motion and a second, and then we'll have to take a record vote by each one on the Commissioners Court, recorded vote, for this budget and proposed budget, and for the proposed tax rate. And then we have to schedule, since it is gonna raise more funds than we raised last year, we'll have to schedule for 2 public hearings. And if we wanna do that, I've got the first public hearing, if we wanna do it, scheduled for August the 24th, and then the second one, August 27th. We can't have the 2 meetings closer together than the 3 days.
Well, August 27th is when that water symposium thing is in San Angelo.
Is that right?
Yep.
Are you going?
I don't.
Is that this day?
That's a road.
We'll be back the 22nd.
24th is Friday.
Yeah.
Let's see, West Texas Legislative Summit is the 28th.
Monday. That'll be our next
And the
regular
dinner
scheduled
and
meeting, and
reception
we'll
for
have a public hearing.
legislators is the
Is that
27th.
right?
Okay, so if you don't want to go to the dinner, then you don't have to
Or is it?
worry about it.
Yeah.
Well, look at this thing.
27th is our next scheduled meeting.
Yeah, okay, 27.
Okay.
Yeah, the 24th is when we give the 72-hour notice. 27th is our next regular scheduled meeting, I'm sorry, 27th. That's Commissioners Court on the next Monday, 2 weeks from now. And then our next, the second public hearing is August the 31st. We've got a window that has to be a minimum of 3 days, but no more than 14.
What's your first?
The first one is our regular scheduled meeting on August the 27th.
Yeah, that's
And
gonna be
we'll have the first public hearing.
That'll be the first public hearing.
First public hearing. We'll have our regular meeting and then have the public hearing on Monday the 27th. And then on the 28th, I'll post for the second meeting, and we'll hold it on August the 31st. Like I say, we're restricted on when. We can't have it sooner than 3 days, nor further away than 14 from our first.
So,
that'll
how
actually
many
give
hours you gonna
Huh?
post for this open meeting on the 31st? Like 10 to 12?
It's
or-
72 hours.
No,
Just
how
how long-
long
how
are
long
you
we-
gonna allot for it to be?
Oh,
Like 10 to 12, or
Yeah.
8 to 10, or?
Huh?
No, you just have.
You just have a public meeting and then it,
9 o'clock, okay.
you know, and at our regular time, I guess. Or, you know, or we can, if y'all rather set it at another time, I mean, that's, but we just have to, today, if we're gonna propose this budget, and we're gonna propose this tax rate, we also is required then to call for these two public hearings. And those are the dates that fits in that time frame, the 27th and then the 31st. What that will do then, that will allow us to get our notices sent to the paper. And then the first meeting in September then, we'll officially adopt the budget and the tax rate. That's September the 10th. That way, if we can do that by our first meeting in September, that gives Jim time to get the information out to the tax people to get their tax notices sent out by October 1st. I don't know, it seemed in the past, when did y'all, I know last year we did this, got it done the first meeting in September. What have y'all done in the past, do you remember? About that?
One time.
Y'all didn't wait until the end of September.
We did one time, we've gone right to the last day.
We got, that was the day, I think it was the legislature fault or something, or.
I can't remember, we went right down to the last day.
Well, it has to be done by September the 30th.
Yeah.
But you need as much leeway as you can in order to have, of course, you can always, if you kinda know what you're gonna do. But, you know, we have to be able to get the notices prepared and sent out to folks by October 1st. You know, for their taxes.
That suits me just fine.
Yeah.
We're done, we're done. Can't beat the dead horse to death.
That's it.
Put this company to bed.
That's it. Good.
Okay, do we vote on this, is today the day we list the lines and the amounts?
Huh?
Do we list the lines and the amounts today, the tax rate? Vote that line by line today?
Yeah, well, we have to vote for a proposed budget.
Yeah.
And then we have to vote for a proposed tax rate.
Total tax rate?
Total. I don't think it delineates, does it?
I think you have to vote for each.
Line out.
Yeah.
Each line item?
Yeah, but I didn't know if that was today or the final day. I can't remember.
Hang on just a minute, I'll tell you.
You know, you have a proposed tax rate, and then is today the day that we vote on it line by line, or is it the final adoption day?
I don't know.
I can't.
I think today is
I've had too many
whatever the
strokes
proposed.
since then.
You know, I think,
Give you an excuse,
I don't think we did that once.
line by line. I can't remember. It's been
It don't matter, we can do it now, what could be wrong?
That's true. We did it right. I mean, we did it.
Well, we can, I've got it on the agenda to propose tax rate, we can do it as a group, or we can do it line by line, if you rather, we can do it line by line. And that way, it's, we're covered. We do it line by line now and do it again the next time. But I thought today was,
Shortcut day.
yeah, I thought,
You may be right, on it may be short, okay.
and
Sounds good.
I don't think he's gonna tell me in this, I think I'll probably have to go to the statute. Notice the calculated wage, notice the public hearing, notice the tax, this talks about the notices. This doesn't tell how the vote has to be done, but I thought today was just to set it, but we can do line by line. I mean, it's just 3 lines. We can do that, that's no problem, that way we're covered either way.
One line. Or, you gotta split the general rate.
Huh?
You gotta split the general rate.
Oh.
So we're looking at the general fund line, and
Yes.
the total tax rate for general and road and bridge. Then the farm market lateral, special road, and the total.
I think you need, if you're gonna do it line by line, you need to do the general fund of 3.3763 plus the part you're giving to road and bridge at .02.
For a total of 39, 30, or 63.
Yeah. So that's, I guess I was thinking that was just, we'd do that in one, since the road bridge is added. And then you got farm road, and you got special road bridge.
Yeah.
But we can break it down anyway. I guess first of all, we need to decide on the budget.
We'll make a motion to accept the budget.
We propose this budget,
Yes.
we propose the budget,
Proposed budget fiscal year 2013.
post it in clerk's office. We got a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
We got a second. Okay, I'm gonna go around the room by precinct, you'll record the vote. Commissioner Holt, how do you vote on this?
Yay.
Commissioner Harris,
Yay.
Commissioner Miller,
Yay.
Mr. Meyer.
Yay.
And Judge votes yay. All right.
We've never voted yay before.
No, but it sounds good, though.
Well, yay, nay.
No, watch TV, dude.
Okay. Proposed tax rate for fiscal year 2013. We have a proposed general fund tax rate of .3763. We have a proposal.
So moved.
We have a motion by Commissioner Smetter to adopt proposed tax rate for 2013 fiscal year for the general fund of .3763. Do you have a second? Recorded vote, Commissioner Holt.
He can't hear.
How do you? Yay. Commissioner Harris.
Yay.
Commissioner Miller.
Yes.
I'm the matter, yes.
County Judge votes
I'm
yes.
yayed out.
All right. I'll tell you what, we're drawing this one out.
Did you?
Yes, county judge votes yes. The road and bridge of .02 proposed tax rate. And I think we can combine that vote with the one to make a total tax rate for the general and road and bridge of .3963. Combine those two. Just adding a .02 to the road and bridge to give us a combined general and road and bridge of .3963. We have a motion. Harris makes a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Miller makes a second. Commissioner Hall, how you vote?
Yay.
Yay. Commissioner Harris?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Meyer?
Yay.
County judge votes yay. This will be separate district, but combined. All right, we have Farm Market Lateral Road, our proposed tax rate. And I guess I should state that on here, that while we're at that, the general fund, this year's rate that we're presently operating on was .4079. Our proposed rate that we just proposed is .3763, so that's a significant reduction. Road and Bridge, what we're presently operating was .0370. We're dropping it to .02. That's almost a full percentage in reduction. That's 1.7 cents. So that's nearly a half, cut in half on this. And that dropped the total road and bridge in general from .4449 to .3963. That's a significant reduction in our tax rates. So I think we're doing good. Now, Farm Market Lateral Road, last year's rate .1030. Our proposed rate for this year is .0851. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Have a motion by Commissioner Hoyle, Commissioner Meyer, second. Commissioner Hoyle, how do you vote? Yea? Yea? Commissioner Harris?
Yes.
Yes. Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Meyer?
Yea.
County judge votes yes. And that sets the Farm Market Lateral Road at .0851. And then, Special Road District, all four districts will remain the same, and that's .0001. And that remains proposed the same this year. Do we have a motion for that?
So moved.
Mr. Myers makes a motion, we leave the Special Road District at .0001. Have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Hoyle. Commissioner Hoyle, how do you vote?
Yay.
Commissioner Harris?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yay.
Okay, and County Judge votes yes. So, we have now proposed the budget, we proposed the tax rate for fiscal year 2013. We're now required to set dates for two public hearings. I would propose that those dates be August the 27th and August the 31st at our normal meeting time, 9 o'clock.
Let's raise it to 10.
Or you want to make it at 10?
Let's make it 10.
Well, now, see, on the 27th, that's our normal, that's our regular meeting, and then we can set that at 10 o'clock. We can interrupt our regular meeting if we're not completed by the end of the whole special hearing at 10.
It took us that long to pay the bills this morning.
Right.
So it's just a bunch of nonsense
let's
there.
They got pitchforks on it.
set the two public hearings on August the 22nd and August the 31st at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Does someone want to make that a motion?
October 27th?
Yeah, August the 27th
Yeah.
and August the 31st. Both meetings to be held at 10 a.m. And I think we can, that one is not required for a record vote, so we can have a motion a second vote. We have a motion to set those public hearing dates at the 27th and 31st at 10 a.m. We have a motion for that.
So,
All right, Commissioner Miller, Commissioner Myers, second. All in favor? Carried. Okay, y'all clear on this, on the schedule, rest schedule out? And basically, once we do that, we have to have the notice of the tax revenue increase. We have to publish that before we can officially adopt it, so we'll send that in on the 3rd. We'll have it out on the 3rd of September. We'll hold a meeting to adopt on September the 10th. Any other questions? Anything else we need to cover today?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Commissioner Meyer, second by Commissioner Howard, all in favor? Very good.
It got where it is. We're all jumping with the consent